Nikon appears to be working on a new high-performance flagship camera that is currently being referred to in rumors as the Nikon Z9H. This upcoming model is widely speculated to be a faster, more specialized version of the existing Z9, designed specifically to compete directly with top-tier professional sports and action cameras such as Canon's EOS R1 and EOS R3, as well as Sony's high-end Alpha series, including the A9 and A9 III. While Nikon has not officially confirmed the project, ongoing leaks and industry chatter suggest that the Nikon Z9H is already in an advanced stage of development, with a prototype reportedly close to production testing. At the heart of the rumored Nikon Z9H is a completely new approach to speed and sensor performance. Early information suggests that Nikon is experimenting with a 20-megapixel full-frame sensor designed for extreme readout speeds. One of the most striking claims is that the sensor could achieve a readout time of approximately 0.4 milliseconds, which would place it among the fastest imaging sensors ever discussed in the mirrorless camera segment. This level of speed is significant because it directly impacts motion rendering, rolling shutter behavior, and overall image accuracy when capturing fast-moving subjects. The idea behind this design seems to be a clear shift away from resolution-heavy sensors toward performance-first engineering. While the current Nikon Z9 features a much higher 45-megapixel sensor aimed at balancing detail and speed, the rumored Nikon Z9H appears to prioritize instantaneous capture over maximum resolution. This trade-off is typical in sports-focused cameras, where capturing the decisive moment with perfect timing is more important than producing extremely large image files. Another key element of the rumored Nikon Z9H is its processing system. Reports suggest that Nikon may be using a dual X-Speed 7 processor configuration in the prototype stage. Interestingly, even though newer X-Speed 8 technology may exist internally or in development, early leaks indicate that Nikon is relying on dual X-Speed 7 units to handle the intense data throughput required by a high-speed global shutter system. This approach would allow the camera to manage continuous high-speed shooting, real-time autofocus tracking, and rapid sensor readouts without bottlenecks. Perhaps the most important rumored feature of the Nikon Z9H is the inclusion of a global shutter sensor. If true, this would represent a major technological leap for Nikon in the professional mirrorless space. A global shutter allows the entire image sensor to capture light simultaneously, rather than scanning line by line as in traditional rolling shutter systems. This eliminates common distortions such as skewing, wobbling, or motion artifacts when photographing fast action. For sports photographers, wildlife shooters, and documentary professionals, this would be a highly valuable advancement. The significance of global shutter technology has already been demonstrated in competing systems, most notably in Sony's latest high-end models. Cameras like the Sony A9 III have shown how global shutter sensors can deliver distortion-free images even in extremely fast motion scenarios. If the Nikon Z9H integrates a similar system, it would position Nikon as a direct competitor in the next generation of high-speed imaging technology. More importantly, it would show that Nikon is committed to matching or exceeding Sony's innovation in this critical area. Another major advantage of a global shutter system is flash synchronization. Traditional cameras are limited in how they can sync flash with fast shutter speeds due to the way rolling shutters expose the sensor in stages. However, a global shutter allows flash synchronization at virtually any shutter speed because the entire sensor is exposed at once. This opens up creative possibilities for sports and action photographers, especially in controlled lighting environments where freezing motion with artificial light is essential. If the Nikon Z9H delivers this capability, it could become a powerful tool for studio sports photography and high-speed commercial shoots. However, implementing a global shutter system typically comes with certain trade-offs, and one of the most commonly discussed in relation to the Nikon Z9H is resolution. To achieve extremely fast readout speeds, the rumored sensor may be reduced to around 20 megapixels, significantly lower than the 45 megapixel resolution of the standard Z9. This reduction would help improve processing speed, reduce data load, and enable faster frame rates, but it would also limit native image detail in single frame captures. To address this potential limitation, speculation suggests that Nikon could introduce a high-resolution composite or pixel shift style mode, similar to techniques used by Sony and other manufacturers. In such a system, multiple images are captured and combined to create ultra-high-resolution files, potentially reaching up to 240 megapixels in ideal conditions. This would allow the Nikon Z9H to maintain flexibility for studio or landscape work while still prioritizing speed for action photography. Another heavily discussed rumor surrounding the Nikon Z9H is its continuous shooting performance. Early reports suggest that the camera could potentially reach burst rates of up to 120 frames per second while maintaining full autofocus and exposure tracking. If accurate, this would be a massive leap over the current Nikon Z9, which is already capable of around 30 frames per second. Such an increase would place the Nikon Z9H among the fastest professional cameras ever discussed, significantly improving the ability to capture split-second moments in sports and wildlife photography. This level of performance would be particularly useful in environments where timing is critical and unpredictable movement is common. For example, capturing a football player mid-action, a bird taking flight, or an athlete performing explosive movement requires both speed and precision. A camera capable of maintaining autofocus at extremely high frame rates would provide photographers with a much higher probability of capturing the perfect frame. For now, the Nikon Z9H exists as a possibility rather than a product. But if Nikon does bring this camera to market with global shutter technology, ultra-fast readout speeds, and extreme burst performance, it could become one of the most significant releases in modern professional photography.